The Brewers Cup is the highest level of filter coffee competition in the world. 10 minutes on stage. Your coffee, your recipe, and your story on that stage in front of 3 judges. I spent 4 months preparing for that moment. I never made it to the stage, but the presentation and everything was ready and it deserved its moment. This is it. Time. Repetition is how we get better in training, in performance, and for me, also in coffee. My name is Laurin, and today I'd like to share with you how intentional repetitions shape this cup I'm serving you today. I come from a different field. I'm an online fitness coach, and since I was 16, I've worked with training, nutrition, and long-term performance. What stayed with me all these years is simple. Improvement does not come from talent, it comes from intentional repetitions and hard work. 2 years ago, my coffee journey started, and I'm not a cafe owner and I'm not a coffee professional. I'm just a passionate home brewer who put in a lot of repetitions. And now I want to take you on that journey of repetitions in coffee and how repetitions of different people shape this cup I'm serving you today. Let's start with the coffee, where it comes from and why it tastes the way it does. This coffee I brought for you today is from Costa Rica, from the Tarasú region, from the producer Roberto Mata. It's grown at 1,950 meters above sea level and it's called Las Nubes. At this elevation, the cooler temperatures slow down the cherry development, allowing acids and sugars to form more gradually in the coffee bean. And for this reason, this results in a very high quality and beautiful acidity in this coffee. But what's more important to me than just the elevation is repetitions. Producers like Roberto Mata put in a lot of repetitions into plant nutrition, soil management, and harvesting practices. And over many harvests and years, they improved the plant nutrition, which leads to more uniform cherries on the coffee trees, resulting in more flavor clarity in this coffee, in this cup today. I'm serving you a Geisha variety processed as a natural. This leads to a cup full of florals, but the natural process also highlights the red fruit characteristics that this specific coffee has to offer. While I prepare the brews for you, let me walk you through the decisions behind them. Let's start with water. Through a lot of repetitions and testing, I learned that water doesn't create flavor, but it reveals it. I'm using today a zero water and using Lotus mineral drops with a custom water recipe. The total mineral content of this recipe is 100 ppm, as I learned through a lot of repetitions that this highlights the origin characteristics of this specific coffee in the most beautiful way. Now I'm adding to this water recipe magnesium to support the sweetness of this coffee. I'm adding calcium to support the structure and body of this coffee. And I'm also adding carefully sodium and potassium just to balance out this beautiful brightness this coffee has to offer. I pre-ground 14 grams of this coffee 30 minutes in advance. This allows the coffee to degas properly, which leads to a more consistent extraction across all 3 preparations. I ground this coffee at a grind setting of 700 microns today, and the coffee was roasted 7 days ago. More about the roasting later. Now I'm preparing the coffee bed with this needle tool. This helps me to distribute the coffee grounds evenly in the brewer and to break up clumps from grinding. This also benefits a more consistent extraction across all 3 preparations. And the back side of this needle tool has a small dip, and this allows me to make a hole in the center of the brewer of the coffee bed, and this allows for a more efficient blooming phase in the first pour because the water gets in contact with the whole coffee bed at once, allowing for a more consistent extraction across all the 3 preparations for you today. For the brewer, I chose the Timemore Turbo Dripper. Through a lot of testing, I learned that different geometries offer different flavor characteristics in brewing, but I constantly return to this brewer for the conical percolation brewing because it gives me a lot of consistency across all preparations and always very clarity forward and complex cups. This brewer specifically has built-in bypass channels, allowing me for a very fast extraction, and the small size allows me to get very close to the coffee bed, which reduces the agitation when pouring. This really benefits my style of brewing because I brew with a very fast extraction of 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And with a very short ratio of 1 to 14.3. I'm using 14 grams of coffee to 200 grams of water. With this very short ratio, I achieve a high flavor intensity while maintaining balance through the fast extraction. For the roasting, I chose to work with the Nucleus team together, and we built a custom roast profile specifically for this coffee. And through a lot of testing, we learned that this coffee really benefits from a longer mill-out phase, starting with a very gentle heat progression and then finishing the roast quickly in the end, leading to a late first crack that appears at 8 minutes and 45 seconds. And a roast development of 8.5%. We found out that this roast curve really highlights the floral characteristics of this coffee while maintaining clarity and this beautiful acidity that this coffee has to offer. And for the pouring, you might have noticed that I work with 4 pours with 50 grams in each pour, and I'm always starting with 3 circular movements and then finishing in the center to ensure consistency across all 3 of these preparations. Now, before serving this coffee, I want to guide you through the sensory experience of this beautiful Geisha coffee. Please write this down now. For the aroma of this coffee, we have a medium intensity, and you will find white florals like jasmine, and you will also find some red, sweet fruits in a very light way in the aroma. For the flavor of this coffee, it's medium to high through all temperature stages, and when hot to warm, you will find pomegranate and some cherries. And when it's cooling down, you will find some red currant and some raspberries in the flavors. Now for the aftertaste of this coffee, it's long, it's lingering, and when hot, you'll find light red fruits in the aftertaste, and when it's cooling down, it develops into a more tea-like aftertaste, reminding on a high-quality jasmine tea. For the acidity of this coffee, my favorite part, it's medium to high in intensity, and when hot, you will find a malic and tartaric characteristic acidity, reminding on the pomegranate and the cherries. And when it's cooling down, you'll find more vibrant tartaric acidity, reminding on the red currant and the raspberries. Now for the sweetness of this coffee, it's medium in intensity when hot, and it reminds me on honey. And when it's cooling down, the sweetness becomes even lighter, reminding on some sweet red berries. And for the mouthfeel of this coffee, when hot, you'll find it in medium in intensity, and you will find a mouthfeel that is silky to juicy, reminding on a light cherry juice. And when it's cooling down, it becomes lighter. It becomes silkier, reminding on the jasmine tea. Now, before serving this coffee, I chose intentional sensory equipment today. The Costa brewhouse server with aeration edges. Please swirl the server at least 5 times to really get the florals out of this coffee. Here you go, here you go, and here you go. Take your time. May I ask for the server's back, please? Thank you. Now for serving this coffee, I chose the Origami Harmony cup. This cup has an open lip. This supports the perceived brightness and flavor clarity of this coffee. Here you go. Please wait to assess the coffee until I call my time. And the pink color of this coffee really supports the sweetness of this coffee. Here you go. Everything you experience today, from farming to processing, from roasting to brewing to finally shaping this cup for you, everything is based on repetitions. I hope I was able to share with you my passion for repetitions in coffee, and I believe standing on this stage representing coffee is all about staying curious, respectful, and committed to learning one repetition at a time. Please enjoy your coffee now. Time.